was playing in my house when suddenly I was pulled into another world. And there I was, a ghost at bloxfruits. I've always wanted to be the king of pirates, so my adventure began. I'm going to take my first mission. I have to defeat 5 pirates, but do I have all that power? I caught the attention of the 5 because I have to start with everything. Look how they look at me. Feel the power of the ghost. Quick attack! It didn't take long. I defeated them one by one, and they felt the true strength of a ghost here at bloxfruits. I'm looking for a bigger challenge. So I took some treasures and bought my first sword, the Goldwater. It was time to take on a new island, so I grabbed a ship and sailed into the jungle. I took the mission and started striking them with my sword, but I can't doubt their power, so the only way is to do it. Silent race. Go back to your den. The last ones I threw into the lake to deliver my final blow. The forest was finally free of the little monkeys. It's not over. I still have to defeat the gorillas that torment this jungle. They're enormous, but I'm not afraid. Come one, come all and feel the power of my blade. I finished them all. What'll be the next challenge? Hey gorilla, I'll end your reign. I started with my best attack, but someone appeared with impressive ice power. Everything turned to snow. The Gorilla King's been defeated, but where do I acquire this power? I sailed to the next island that led me to a pirate village. The mission was obvious because I had to defeat the pirates. I didn't like them because they looked like Marines. They'll surely be punished for their crimes. Aerial cut, silent race. It didn't take long to defeat them and set out on my new mission. Let them go. Defeat brutes? I want to see if they really are that. They're no brutes. There's nothing to fear here. Let's see how they react to my blows. They even tried to attack me, but my skill was much greater. I showed them who the brute was and completed the mission. It's time to liberate the village. I'm going to defeat Bug and the Clown. Don't look at me like that. Try to laugh about it now. I underestimated him and he attacked me with everything he had. I had to use many skills and dodge some attacks. I tried several ways, attacking from all sides. He really was very skilled until finally I saw the right moment. God, give me the power of sanction. It's your end, Bug. Now the village was at peace. I need to go to my next mission. Arriving in the desert, the moon shone on the sand. It was all very beautiful. I had spoken to the desert adventurer and he asked me to defeat 8 bandits. Thank God none of them used devil fruits. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to land any attacks with my sword. As I attacked them, I thought of those empty houses where the residents were expelled. It was necessary to put an end to all the bandits. With God's help, I will bring peace to this desert. It will be the end of you. I told the adventurer I had finished the quest, but he said there were desert officials back there, and I was furious. The flame that swallowed my heart. The officers should be the protectors of this village. I came attacking so fast that they could barely see my movements. I realized they were very inexperienced, and my every move was too calculated to be able to defeat them. And the officers were finally defeated. Finishing the mission, I took my ship and headed to the next island. Then I arrived in the frozen village, and it sure was very cold, but I was very happy that here I was going to be able to learn a very powerful skill. So I talked to the teacher to learn about the haki of weaponry. I already feel the power in me. Before I started fighting, I needed a new weapon, so I went to talk to a sword merchant, and thank God I was able to buy the triple katana, one of the strongest swords around here. And the villager asked me to defeat 7 snow bandits. It was a big task, but I was ready. I called on 5 enemies at a time to test if my blades were truly sharp. Look at this movement. Look at this swing. These swords are amazing. I could stay there all day and I wouldn't get tired. With only 2 left to complete the mission, I was already deciding which one I would take down. Then I learned a new attack. I'll finish him off. Area barrage. Wow, this attack is amazing. Hold my ultimate attack. Finally, the power of 100 is here. The villager has now given me a mission to defeat some snowmen. I was feeling so strong that I decided to bring together the 4 that were there. Even then, I felt their firmness. I underestimated the enemy again, only this time something unexpected happened. Despite attacking them with everything and trying my best to dodge, I was defeated for the first time. I've decided that I won't lose anymore. I began to create traps, better strategies. I had to become the pirate king, and I can't accept defeat. The villager gave me the most difficult mission here in the frozen village. He said that I would have to defeat a yeti. With the experience that I had gained, I began to attack him. But besides being very strong in defense, he was very powerful. And any slip that I made, I was certainly going to be defeated. The first time he landed a hit on me, he took nearly all my life. So I pushed him away and hoped to find the right moment to attack. In midst of our battle, I found an opening. So I attacked him. I won't say it was easy, but thank goodness the Yeti was defeated. I went back to the jungle because I really wanted the power of a fruit. A fruit that would be a guide to help me in these battles. Unfortunately, the rocket fruit came along. I couldn't stand looking at that little face anymore. I took the opportunity to grab some chests and went back to hunting the Yetis, because I knew that hunting them I could get much stronger. When I got to the Navy fortress, Barba Pranke was there, but it wasn't time to defeat him yet. What I wanted was to put an end to this Navy corruption and destroy all these corrupt sailors who were here. They seemed to be experienced sailors, as they were using 2 katanas. They were coming at me really fast, so I had to use my air dams all the time. They were already landing a lot of blows on me. I was already getting worried. I'm going to defeat them one by one until I don't recognize any of you anymore. Excited by the victory, I started to climb up the tallest tower in search of a very rare and powerful piece of equipment. And the legend says that this accessory will give me more health, more energy, and more strength in attacks. So finally I went to talk to the Parlo salesman, and he told me that it would cost me 50,000 bellies. Thank God I bought it, and now I have the best accessory of the moment, the black cover. But something very strange happened, and when I saw it, I went back to my house. A ghost dream can't end like this. There I was, wanting to return to the world of Blox Streets on our second journey. Thank God, may God bless you all. And I was back on Blox Streets, and of course I was very happy. From the colossal castle of the Navy fortress, I bumped into the boss, Vice Admiral. I accepted the mission, stared him down, and unleashed violent impulse. Executing another skill, I employed the dash and attack strategy, a true swordsman's finesse. The boss deployed his skills, but I dodged them effortlessly. The ghost has hawk eyes. Come closer, boy, and I'll show you who's in charge. The ghost prevails. I even took the coat, but it's too weak for me. Sailing across the sea, we reached Skypia, the most stunning island in bloxfruits. I wondered what that small boat was doing there. Ascending to the celestial kingdom, I passed the little castle and arrived at the city of Skypia. I snatched 2 treasure chests and pursued my first mission. The goal was to defeat 7 sky bandicos, so I assembled them for a plan. Those angelic beings were no match for me, you see. They performed sports while I remained cautious. Realizing they had asthma but couldn't fly, I started attacking them from above. It looked like a little sneeze pattering down. And to finish off the last 2, I used the squad attack with the ghost coming from above. The great moment came to try to look for our fruit. Returning to the jungle, I talked to the Iols and got the East de Akumi before anyone defeated me. Get ready to see the Ice King spring into action. Picking up the second mission, I was already eager to test this new attack. Counting the 4 shady ones that were there, look at that overpowered fruit. This Lugia was already unbeatable. Look at these attacks: Ice Bird, Ice Spears, and Ice Age. Good bird. Thank God it will be easy to level up here. Finishing the mission, I went after my ship to go to one of the most feared islands in the bloxfruits, the prison, and the place was already filled with darkness. We need to defeat 8 prisoners. I went at them with everything I had, but my Lugia still wasn't working yet. I'm going to use a different strategy and keep them further away than usual as I attack. Just think how tough these guys are. I almost lost my life many times, but none were a match for the ghostly kid. Next mission, I had to defeat 8 dangerous prisoners. I combined the 2 and used my latest attack, Ice Age. This is a very potent fruit, but I ran out of energy very quickly. I had to deal with this later on. Right at the final enemy, look at the massive problem that was draining my energy. But that didn't stop me from defeating him. Without further ado, let's go defeat these bosses here in prison. Let's start with Warden, activating my Colossal Glacier with everything I've got, guys. I think I even awakened the Ghost Alquise. I was going so hard, the guy didn't even expect to be able to attack me. Look at his sword skills, man. Ice Cream Maker, and it was a perfect kill, without taking any damage. Now, the next mission was to defeat TF Warden, and that sword was spine-chilling, man. I started out really skilled with nothing to worry about. I sent him packing because if you've got wings, you've got to fly, but when it came to the dash, I got hit right in the middle of the street. The dash had to be perfectly timed because this sword is 10 meters long. I've never seen anything like it. The next attack, he flew so far that he crashed face first into the wall and froze, and I took that chance to be able to defeat him. Now the most difficult boss, the Swan boss, which belongs to Flamingo. I can't underestimate it. His attack is from afar, so the strategy is always to keep dashing, but I'd already taken the first attack, so every time he used a skill, I took the opportunity to attack him, and I did that twice. I started using the dodge cane toad, he missed his last attack and opened up a gigantic gap for me to use. My final blows defeated him. Our next destination is the Coliseum, so I took my ship. When I arrived on this island, it was the emptiest and most abandoned place I had ever seen. The first mission was to defeat 7 Toga warriors. I decided to put 3 of them together, and I already realized that my Logia was working, so things were going to be very easy here. I defeated the top 3, took the top 2 from the corner of the Coliseum, and quickly completed the first mission. The second mission of the Coliseum was to defeat 8 gladiators. At first I saw that my Logia was not working. I defeated the rest of them and started adopting the skills. They weren't difficult, but I didn't want to get beaten. The first team is already gone. Thank God I defeated the last enemy and reached level 300. It was time to get the haki of observation. I turned on the first button, the second button, the third button, the fourth button, and the 5th button. I entered the passage that opened in the middle of the jungle and read the message. Lands full of sand, my house is standing. Now dark and gloomy, and let there be light. So I grabbed the torch and went out into the desert where there was a secret house there. I burned the wall to get a new riddle. If it's power you're after, fill the glass from a leak left abandoned in the cold. It's a story to be told. I headed to the frozen village, and in the cave I filled the chalice with water. I gave it to Sickman, who asked to take it to his son in the pirate village. Now I had to defeat a bandit to earn a relic. The bandit was very easy to defeat. With the relic in hand, I returned to the forest. My goal was to open the secret door and face Shanks. I stunned him so he wouldn't attack me because he's strong. Thank goodness, when I used the ice sand, it glitched. His head got stuck in the ceiling. That made it much easier to defeat him. He was stuck up there for so long that I really thought it wasn't working. And his life wasn't going down, but he was eliminated. The bug ghost in the sand. I even got Saber as a gift. And if you didn't notice, this guy had been following me for a long time. And going up the square pyramid, I talked to Zoop and learned the haki of observation. And I'm going to eat smoker, guys. What you asked for, to change fruit. So let's make this bloxfruits full of smoke. I took my ship and went to the island of Volcano, one of the most feared islands in the bloxfruits. The first mission, I have to defeat 7 military soldiers. Here they are already very powerful, even for those who have Logia, because some always appear with the haki of weaponry, but Smoker is very appealing. I started by using the smoke blow, because it was a matter of time before I got the most stolen attack in all of the bloxfruits, which is the smoke bomber. Now here the bug is caught on, because as you fly with your smoke, at the same time you're dropping bombs on the enemies below. You can come, it's not sweet sharpness. He saw his laid back soldiers. Look, the smoke was contaminated. Just look at the devastation this fruit causes, guys. It's surreal. I drew the attention of the last 2 to unleash my final attacks, and they also do a lot of damage, defeating them in seconds. Next mission of the volcano in bloxfruits. I had to defeat 8 military spies. I gathered the 4 who were around using my smoke bomber because I knew they had the flash step, so you have to be careful. But guys, the volcano was closing up for the ghost fruit. I don't think they lasted 10 seconds. The guys are lost in the smoke. They don't know where they need to go. And we completed the second mission. The easiest is the first one, and the most awaited moment arrived, where I'm going to defeat the archer and show you that the volcano's lava can be evaporated with the ghost smoke because my smoke blast didn't catch him. I started running some tests so I wouldn't take damage and could devise a way to defeat him. So I tried the smoke bomber, the smoke blast, the smoke blow, and the smoke release. That was the plan, to have the 3 main skills ready. I disembarked from the flight and used them. He was almost defeated, so I went down to use the 3 attacks I wanted. I thought it was going to be a flawless victory. At the last moment, guys, he punched me, but we completed the mission. We conquered the fishy volcano of bloxfruits. We boarded the ship and set off for the underwater city. I flew to the vortex and entered the most unique island of all. And the first mission of the underwater city was to defeat 8 merfolk warriors. Let's get these little fish in hot water. I lured 4 of them that were around to test if their scales were made of steel or gelatin. I drew in 3 more merfolk warriors who were over in the corner. I have my smoke to disappear them in this sea. And thank God I defeated the last merman warrior. Hey guys, this is funny. This guy came out of nowhere thinking I was offline and activated PvP, so I kept quiet. When his PvP ended, I gave him a smoke. He went to Belileo. With 400 power, I had to defeat 7 commando fishmen now. They're powerful, but the strategy was the same. I asked each of them and they hit me. Then out came smoke from my head. I became buff and burly, and I showed them they were the Sardine Command. I defeated everyone. Now the last mission here on the island was to defeat Lord Triton. When I arrived at this castle, he had already transformed. But it was a bug when someone can't defeat it. But who's here is the Ghost King of Pirates. Thank God. They launched an attack from the Lambari hunting stick, but he missed. Then it's time for me to use my attack. The smoke eats malnourished piranha, and I ended his race. The sea isn't for fish because I've defeated everyone, and for the first time we found a fruit. And you won't believe where it's at. In the desert, and look at the fruit I found. Thank goodness, the best fruit to find on vlogs. Will we soon become the Buddha Clicker Ghost? I even scored the bonus trident. It's a journey in Skypia, guys. Only this time it's at the top. I took on the first mission, which was to defeat 7 guardian gods. There were 6 of them nearby, so I gathered all of them and said, oops, I'm roped in. I've got the fruit, I logged, I'm going to show that I rule. And simply, I also beat them up. But I came back and showed them that my smoke isn't this fluffy cloud they keep stepping on. With just one more left, I completed the mission. Go ahead, hit it, dummy. Hit now. Now let's move on to another part of Skypia. Here in our new mission, we've got to defeat 9 Xandas. And look at what I've got to go through. The guy didn't want to let me go for no reason. Then I asked if he was already max level. He said no. Then I played a little game. So go ouch, my son. Leave time here. It's time to defeat Whisper, the biggest bastard of all. I attacked you from afar because his bomb hurts like hell. Look at the shot passing super fast on my legs. The gaze spun around chirping for him to get dizzy and missed the bazooka shot. But unfortunately, one of the shots hit me. Look at the power of that. But Whisper was annihilated, and I got his bazooka for our account. The next challenge was already on the other side of the island. To defeat the Royale squads, I started by getting them all together. And guys, I still don't understand. Why put wings on pets? They should at least fly after us. Where's the bloxfruit technology? The last one was to test my logia, but it wasn't working, so bye-bye, mission complete. And another fruit was detected. This time, when it was time to look, I had someone behind me to beat me. I immediately fired 2 pumps. But it didn't do much good. Well, at least PvP has deactivated. He wasn't in the central city. So I went to Pirate Village and immediately spotted a put play. It's famous, but it was spirits. Now, the next mission was to defeat the Royal Soldier. Those are a little more annoying because they have powers and they jump, but they still don't fly. I defeated Quinto and took the opportunity to get a treasure chest. Oh, Zedalite, you have to be careful with them. Only one more to go. The boy almost stole my frag. I said, but we completed the mission. One more fruit was notified, so I went after it and it was simply where I was. So I came back and from afar I could see that it was the flame. Wow, now it's on fire. The next mission is to defeat Enel. Now he will pay for leaving us without power. I attacked from afar because my life isn't that high. Flying, the storm cloud was already overhead. I said, my god, I'm screwed. If I take one more hit, I'm done for. My attacks were charged. I went down as quick as I could. I had the turbo on, and I didn't want to walk all the way back. Your high energy build days are over. And today, we're playing Buddha to steal on Block Street. I selected the Spades point and started with the Trident to unlock all the item abilities I had. The new mission was to defeat 8 royal squads. I transformed with Buddha, and the great advantage is attacking from a distance. And Buddha is also very powerful, defeating them in seconds. So I thought it was better to not gather them and defeat them one by one. Managing to unlock my first skill, Trident Launching, and completed the mission. Thinking I was ready to defeat Enel, I used Trident Launching, but I forgot to use my dashes and I lost to him using Buddha. Well, it's a free pass to Boss Whisper. I accepted the mission, and when I started attacking him, this time I started walking backwards simultaneously, because when you execute the third attack with the Trident, it dashes forward, which is quite disruptive. But with great ease, this time I managed to defeat it. This time, when I went for Enel, I already had my skill ready. I started attacking non-stop. My finger turned into the Flash. I used a lot of dodging, but I'm going to walk backwards. I defeated him without taking any damage, and I even won Poly, which is his very powerful staff. With the Trident's dodge unlocked, I started with the Trident throw and then the water pulse. What a beautiful wrist, right guys? These water-containing attacks in block suits are among my favorites. It was time for Warden's Sword. The good thing about it is that it catches enemies from afar because it's enormous. Those who watched the second episode remember. Even I lost to the boss with this knot of his sword. And the second advantage is that skills are very easy to unlock. It's only 80 mastery. Another mission was completed. Now let's move on to the homing cut skills. What a beautiful crowd in the cut tornado. Think of a sword with the beautiful skill. Now it's Shanks' sword, which is saber. As much as it's a short sword, its damage is absurd. And the skills are a little difficult to conquer, but they go for it. Now let's move on to the skills, starting with the death race, which is very cool, and also the triple cut, which is very powerful. And with a little technique, we defeat the enemies very quickly. We open the next island and arrive at the source. It's just that it's a great relief, because I was getting closer and closer to C8. The first mission of the fountain was to defeat 8 galley pirates. I became Buddha and chose Anel's staff, which is Polly. And even though you know there are bugs here, like hitting through walls, when you have Buddha, you don't need that. Its advantage is its size. Then with very little effort, I managed to defeat the last ones to complete our first mission. The second mission now was to defeat 9 Galen captains. Defeating them one by one, I took the initiative to use the explosive cloud attack. Another great advantage that POD has is that most sword skills don't hit when you're transformed. And so we completed our second mission, and I released both skills with an incredible and powerful combination. Our third mission was to defeat the Borg boss. I started with an explosive cloud and the lightning rain, taking advantage of his distance. Now the strategy was to click and spin around him so he wouldn't hit any rockets on me, and simultaneously use the thunder skills of my staff. And thank God we managed to finish the fight without taking any damage. A perfect victory. I took advantage of a detected fruit and boarded my ship, and the notifier led us to the jungle where we found the best fruit, the gyros fruit. And thank God we also dropped the best accessory of the C8, the cool glasses, and the 700 power arrived. I was sent on a mission to prison. Speaking with the detective, he said I would have to go to the frozen village and gave me a key. I took my ship. Here in the frozen village, the goal was to enter the cave, use the key to open the door, and I came face to face with Aokiji. I transformed into Buddha and picked up Polly, since the explosive cloud and the lightning rain, but the rain didn't catch inside but rather outside the cave. And I almost managed to dodge. He managed to stun me, guys. Even so, we completed the mission and Aokiji went to Bel-El-El. Aokiji told me a story that actually he had to stop Doflamingo, and I defeating him made Admiral Magma make a deal and release the Swan. So I had to go back to prison, and I went there just for him to send me back to the central city. And I'm there fine. I run out and suddenly it was the sun in front of me. I started attacking it non-stop before someone appeared or it disappeared. And thank God I dropped my favorite sword from CA1 for the first time, guys, the Cerado Tubarao. Bada bing! We arrived at the second CA of bloxfruits. Now let's look at our first fruit to see if we're lucky here in CA. And it was already very expensive, 129k, and the smoker's fruit came. But I already had it, so I tossed in the cafe. Finally, a new world, God bless everyone.